Alright, let's just go through it. Well, here's a song. It's 100% Nightmare Lucy Doomslayer over here trying to figure out a way to make money, economics by any other standards, in a field, of course. So it's got some limits. It's not just going to be me hoping the aliens are recording me so they can put me on World Star over here. So that's running the gambit. Let's get up Dr. Fauci's here, or Gilbert's PhD on Delta Cova variants. This is just E0 to E1. Yeah, I would go through this, because I get fucking locked out. One, there's a timeline. It's like, wow, what do you mean there's a timeline? Well, let's find one from quantum computing, shall we? Maybe one will pop up here real quick from 5 years ago or something like that on what the hell happens around here. We already covered this one, otherwise I would. Go find the video. You'll see her picture in there. You'll have to figure out actions at spooky distances and IH. Put it together, Murphy. Figure it out. Those are the figures. Those would be N on here for what this does. Okay. Honey, I ain't with you. And you need a brother. It's what makes you wet at the end of this anyways. It's like, I'll tear everything down on the board when I come to love you later. That's what I do. Otherwise, I'm going to rep this board up. So, the raising of Amazon, 23 years ago. What's behind the hot emerging market? If it wasn't for you fancy ass, really the rest of this is just a whole bunch of fucking fluff. In Washington, D.C., police deaths, this is what happens sometimes without any policy changes happening. This is historical models of that's why they died. There's a common index for that dangerous situation, make a new protocol. And now that's somehow different now that Chicago got involved. And Lightfoot's making policies. I wonder what the common denominator in here this is, mathematically speaking. Given, of course, this asshole's PhD up here and what the fucking Delta variant is. When you get out to the nitty-gritty on what this is, why would you stay limited to a task for bullshit answers inside here? Kind of a dead damn giveaway about what the fuck is going on inside here. You using this goddamn graph and calculator to determine farther indexes, and by not doing that, obviously it puts you on the fucking peg of the black body radiation being at least one of the goddamn devils in this. Because it wouldn't matter. I give a fuck about his sexist bullshit inside here. There's other things at play that are more just don't understand. Singularity. You know what I mean? It's like, well, how do you go explain that? Well, Como, let me see your desk like it's Fermilab, right? This cowboy, what happens at CNN on the daily outside of the camera when you're dropping a panda, because that's the scientific thesis. You take your eyes off that, can't review it. Oh, little birdie sitting in the nest. Oh, it moved. What did it do? Go back in there too much. Well, just regular moved in there. But no, during this time of the season when they go in the little birdie houses like that, they usually drop an egg. Go figure. And inside of there, I want to have that number. Well, how do you drop the egg? What is the biology of the bird? What is the physics of the bird? Is there any kind of chemistry in terms of a robin's egg and what turns it blue and what it does to the parent's body and the Dirac equation by those things? And yep, we're going to have to dissect that little birdie while the egg is still, fresh from today. So we're going to have birdies and eggs. Not always a nice science. Science, it's kind of sketchy. It's like, well, how do I rationalize sacrificing the chicken here? Voodoo, that's how you do it. So, what's behind? There's one, it's Amazon, a big standard model on training techniques. You up, down, left, right, smack you in the balls a couple of times, cut your shit, and get on. That's how you make money, buddy, no matter what you do. Well, one of them's got to be big enough to do it. So I go out there on Joe Rogan's right now, and we're going to start bringing up Bob Lazar, all of his incidents on terms of Jordan Patterson, Clint Eastwood's kid. I'm just going to go through the roster on this about, well, how do you use emotional contagion to get the shilling in the beer and get them to fight for you? Sometimes you want to, sometimes you don't, right? And sometimes upside down pineapple cake ensues about, well, that will hurt me later, but I'm willing to renormalize and adjust, play a timeline on the index, and figure out Flovium 115, right? Clearly, we're, in this lover's triangle dealing with the mailman banging somebody on the upper staff's list of bullshit going on. And somebody's going to overreact. And no matter what you do in there, there's going to be a system that's like, well, you misgauge this big-ass cowboy inside here, and you're going to get fucking lit, buddy. And those are the trajectories. No, I won't, because I got a gun and I'll do it. I think you're missing the point of up, 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 down, down, up, and down, down for spin momentum direction here. This chemical does something weird. Well, that would be weird. Monkeys do things. They would say, in order to get out of trouble, I want full disclosure. Anytime I want to hide from the world, it's like, I want to let you know how I'm getting in their missionary position with my old lady. Get her flipped over on doggy style. Show the fucking world how it's done. Well, it's not good enough. Well, I don't need to be the best. I just need to be bar. Hold bar. It's like, oh, well, that's not cool. That's discriminated against anybody who can't. Well, they better step it up. Because that's what they're going to have to do. They better get out there and train for it, you know. But, of course, you got to close the gap first, right? You know, before you can get in there doggy style with this one. Hoo-wee. Well, why don't you go to your people and be like, can you do your own landscaping and plumbing and shit like that, so that way I can take it off your rent bill? You know, maybe you figure out a way for them to build equity inside of here to get the game. But of course, that would be house code to all the garbage that we do, and then I need all the types of plastic separated in their own little facility thing, so that way the garbage man coming around later on can actually separate them in the proper trash facility they can. And meanwhile, they don't have the matrix or the square footage without calling eminent domain in that city to expand the standards on what does. Karen? Some of them shouldn't live. Just saying. This one, specifically, paying rent inside, not paying rent to do his damn job, he's just getting paid for it.
11 million members. That means
I kick him out. I'll be like, get the fuck on, cowboy, but I can't. Go figure, we got some of the same damn problems. Write a bill! What the fuck? Get out here and make money off of smashing people all the time, but don't do it once yourself?
Congress and the president is focused on tenants only, but what about us? We are providing a lot of the
There's the math. What does she need to do to get her fucking tenants to make money? That's your job now. Don't do a goddamn thing. Get the fuck out of here.